this is YouTube Dude again, and today we are going to be playing Microsoft Flight Simulator on the Steam Edition. So it looks like this, it's just like a blue plane icon. And today, instead of just showing you in the game, I'm going to show you everything to get in the game, and then the game, and then more to get in the game, and so on and so on. So you're welcomed with this big page that says Microsoft Flight Simulator Home and da 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 da. So you can just press this, free flight, and then you're here with your little aircraft here, and you can change it to anything you want. You can change it to a helicopter. I really don't know how to fly helicopters, even though I've used this program many times. You can fly water planes, you can fly propeller planes, you can fly jet planes, even a Boeing 747. And you can even fly more helicopters. So if you want all of the paintings that you can paint your aircraft, just click this button. And then you get all of this. So I'm not gonna do that because it doesn't really matter. So first we are gonna fly gonna fly the Air Creation Trike Ultralight. So we're gonna launch from Friday Harbor. No, we're not gonna launch from Friday Harbor. Yeah, we're gonna launch from Lopez Strip, however you pronounce it. Then press OK, and then you've got there. Fly now. And now there are a bunch of complex keyboard controls, and they're so complex you can barely memorize 3. So instead, you can just use the mouse. You can just right click here. I'll show you when we get in. After it's done loading. Let's go full screen. And so it's loading and loading. Loading, loading, loading. We're in. So right here, since I choose my destination, it put me right here. Else it'll put you other places. So you can go mouse yoke, and 9 is throttle up, and 3 is throttle down. So right now I'm in my tail view when we get in the air. So now you can control with your mouse, or you can learn all of the keyboard controls, which I recommend with your mouse because it's really easy. You can just do that, do that, do that, do that. So then S is to change views like this. And then once you're here, A to change views like this. So you can go inside of your cockpit, and then you can go in the rear seat or the cockpit. And so you can just fly around. And so I'm going to try to land this. I really never have landed it like perfectly. So I'm going to go back to the airstrip, wherever it is. I don't have my graphics turned up very high, so you can only see the trees popping out. But if you turn them up higher with a better computer, then you'll get really cool graphics, I'm assuming. Because I've never used them before, so I don't know, but you probably will. So let's just say that I want to land in someone's backyard. I throttle down with 3. Now I'm basically just gliding. And when you have a plane that has gear, G is the control to put your gear in. But my plane doesn't have retractable gear. So we're coming in for landing. And period is the brakes. So when you're braking, you put on period. So we're just coming down for a nice smooth landing. Well, hopefully smooth on it. And we've landed. So that's this little plane here. But you can go on a bigger scale to the next plane I've never tried out before. Is the Haviland Beaver, and I've saved it for the video so I can fly it in and out of the ocean because it looks like a water plane with those pontoons on the side. So we're going to change our location into Seattle. No, that is South Carolina, not Washington. Washington, and then we're going to go to Seattle. Washington, Seattle. And if your city doesn't show up and you just have to type the first letter, else this happens. So I type the first letter, then E, then A, and so on, and then it just keeps on changing like this. So you have to make sure you only tap the first one, and then you can go down here and then find all of the cities or state or provinces and all that stuff by just scrolling down. No, I went Washington and Seattle. So then you can choose your airport here, and with the water plane I'm going to choose the Canmore Air Harbor, which I've already tried out with non-seaplanes, and it's a pretty bad result with a non-seaplane because it's kind of in the water. So I'll just get ready here. We're loading terrain data. Loading auto-generated scenery. Loading air, land, and sea traffic. And we're on the water. So let's get on the tail. Now I'm going to go full thrust and try to take off. If it is ever going to take off. There we go. And this plane doesn't have gear, so it'll probably be pretty hard to land on land. So let's fly over some land here. So this plane has autopilot, and I'll show you the autopilot about now. So we press P to pause, and then you go S into your view, A, and then you go to the radio stack. It says up here, it's supposed to say up there. And then you go over altitude, hold sector, press up to put that up. I'll put this only at 5,000 feet. Now we're at 5,000 feet, and my vertical speed hold selector is going to be I'm going to try to hold 700 feet per minute with my little I'm going to switch on altitude hold switch. And I would turn the nav hold switch on if I had a flight plan, but right now I don't have a flight plan. So I'll show you flight plans when I get to the bigger planes. But right now I currently don't have a flight plan. So we'll just let Mr. Auto do his work. And see, I'm not touching any controls right now. And it's doing something. Its altitude is going up even though I'm not touching anything. And I can control the thrust however I want to, because here it might have a auto thrust thingy. No, it doesn't have an auto thrust control. But if you had a flight plan, then it would be flying around and yawing and pitching and such. So I'm gonna go turn off autopilot so we can land, and then we'll try out a bigger plane. Okay, we're coming in for landing. Okay, and we're almost there. And my finger is holding on 3 and period as we come down for landing. And we've landed, pretty much. Maybe. Kinda, sorta. So that's the water planes that I now know how to fly. And now we can change this to a Airbus A321. And when it's here, I'll show you something. Oh, come on, it's not working today. So we're gonna change our timing. Okay, that's good. And we can change our weather. Clear skies, building storms, cold fronts, fog and gray and rainy, heavy snows, major thunderstorm, stormy weather. Isn't really the best day for flying. Strong wind, clouds, and rain make for a challenging experience. And the winter wonderland. Isolated snow flurries, broken clouds, and gentle winds make for a fun day of winter flying. So then we can also do real world weather that they suck up data from the internet and then put it into the game. But we're not going to do that because that's going to take up a lot of time of figuring out because I never used it before. So just wait for it to load in. And then after I show you the Airbus, I'll do a flight plan with a little jet. So we're almost loaded in, and we're in. And it put us in the water. Kersplash. So since we crashed and our plane is now sinking in the water, now let's talk about flight plan. So we have to go to Flight Planner. And then we start making our flight plan on this page. So there's those 2 buttons, edit. We're going to be using this in a while. So we're going to select our departure location, press select. Then you can put in where you're going to go, so where you're going to come from. So I want to take off from Seattle at the International Airport, Seattle to Tacoma International. And then I'm going to be going to, let's say, California, why not? And then from Sacramento International, I'm going to be IFR. And I'm going to press find route. That's our route. We can make it longer if we want to, like that, which I don't advise you should do. And then you can just do that, and that, and that. That's just a really bad flight plan. I mean, look at that. That's just like flying here, turning around, crossing your flight path, turning around again, turning around, crossing the flight path again, and then finally landing. So that's one of the worst flight plans in the world. Oh, this is probably the worst flight plan in the world. Whee! So we're gonna clear this, and then we're gonna go back, cause I just messed everything up, to create, and then we can do this all again. So we want to depart from, why not Seattle this time? I mean Sacramento in California, and then we're gonna go to Seattle, the other way around. Washington, and we're gonna go to Seattle. I'm gonna take off from, and then we're gonna go to Seattle Tacoma International. And I'm not gonna show you the whole process of waiting for 3 hours because this simulator is in real time. So if I show you the whole process of looking at autopilot going in a straight line, you'll probably be leaving the computer by now, or your tablet, or whatever you're watching this on. So I'm going to press OK, and then this is all my saved plans here. Like Acrewood to AJ's plan, and Ostina to Arrow B Branch Red Strip, and IFR Denver International, and so on and so on. So there we go. And then we have our Airbus. And go fly now. And we're loading some more, and we're loading time data, and then we're loading some more, and then we're loading time data, and so on and so on. And we're almost in. Loading auto-generated scenery. Loading air, land, and sea traffic. And there we go. So you can talk to air traffic control before you take off by going to views and then going to, where is it? Air traffic control. But I don't advise doing that because it takes a really long time. You just press these buttons to say stuff to air traffic control, but I don't advise doing that because it takes like 10 minutes just to take off with your air traffic control. So you're going to go here, and then you're going to press A until you get to cockpit, and then this is your GPS, and then this is your attitude indicator. Like in the past, I've shown you. Oh, and also I accidentally chose the Winter Wonderland weather, so I guess it's going to be snowing. This is your attitude indicator. In that other video in Minecraft that I showed you with the attitude indicator, that shows you the sky and the ground and where you are here. So then this is where we are. So then we're going to go inside, then we're going to go to views, and then we're going to go instrument panel, and then you're going to say GPS, and then you have this, and it's your, no, we already have our GPS open, never mind. So yeah, we already have a GPS, so we need to close window, turn the mouse yoke off, so and then we're going to set our speed hold sector to about 500 knots. It's an average for passenger airplanes. And then our altitude hold switch, we're going to switch up to about 35,000. And we're almost there. Okay, so it's set to 35,000. And then this is your vertical speed hold sector. We don't need to worry about that because we don't have to switch on auto throttle. And then this is the most important button in the world with autopilot. It turns your plane. When you just press the autopilot master switch, it's only going to keep your altitude and your speed. But if you press nav hold switch, then it's going to keep your flight plan, going to keep you on track basically, and then going to do everything else that is important. So this, it's all different for the different planes, but this is the best plane that I'm going to show you. And so the nav/GPS is we're going to switch this to GPS, so it's controlling this, not the navigation, whatever it is. So now we're going to take off. Now we're going to, this is a cool view of the landing gear, but I don't like to use that view, so we're going to take off from. Look at our flaps going up and down. So anyway, we're going to do that. Put our mouse at the bottom of the screen, and then we're going to go full thrust. And we'll take off. And we have liftoff, pretty much. Hopefully autopilot behaves well today and puts us on the right angle to get to our cruising altitude. But if you want to turn autopilot on, then you're going to press P to pause. You're going to turn off your mouse yoke. You're going to go and press autopilot, turn off auto throttle. And then now you control the throttle by yourself, not autopilot. And then your flight director switches on here. And I have no idea what that does. So we are going to, what is this? What's this? Tell me. Okay, anyway, so we are going to resume the flight. And autopilot is going to hopefully behave himself. And right now he's apparently not behaving himself, so we're going to turn him off. And use the mouse yoke to control. So we're going to climb steadily, not so steeply as autopilot does. Because autopilot also really wants to go like straight up in the air, and our passengers will not be pleased with that. And also that'll make stall, and then bad things start to happen. So let's pause for a second. I need to show you a couple cool things about the views. You can go to views, new view, and then select where you want to put it. So you can go, let's say we're going to go to aircraft, and then we're going to do, wherever it is, aircraft, and then we're going to click tail. And this shouldn't be filling up the whole screen right now. What? Here we're having a little trouble. Aircraft. Tail. That's not it, but anyway, when it decides that it wants to work, then it's going to put a little rectangle on the top of your screen, and it's going to show you. So let's say you have this view, and then you want the cockpit view, and then you just go to views, and then you go down to cockpit, and then you can go to cockpit or all that stuff. And then there's all that, and then you can, and then there's going to be a little rectangle in the side of your window, about here-ish. And then it'll show you the other view. So I can have this and the cockpit open at one time with the cockpit right here and my tail view right here, or I can do it the other way around. My tail view right here and my cockpit right here. So I'm going to go back into the cockpit to check my altimeter. And then I'm going to keep on going until I get to about my cruising altitude, and then I'll let autopilot take over. And let's pause. And when you get to about your cruising altitude, whether it's 35,000 or 10,100 million, which you probably can't get to in this game, it's going to be displayed right here. Here, let me show you the mouse. It's going to be displayed right here. And if you don't want to do it yourself, then you can just switch autopilot on. Switch this button on. That'll get you back on your flight path, as I told you. And then you should be good to go after pressing P again. And then the autopilot should direct you correctly. Even if he's a bad behaving autopilot, but that's pretty much all I have to show to you today. If you will please tell me anything that I could possibly do in other videos in the comments, because I'm running out of things to do. And I have a mod in Minecraft where you can go to space, but I don't really know what to do with it to make a good video. So also, if you could leave in the comments something about that, that would be great. Please have a good day. I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye. Technical difficulties here.